Hello, and welcome to the special edition of the Ram Report. I'm your host, James Guarino, and today I have a special guest, Mr. Koontz, who will be reviewing the 2022 lip sync contest.
Thanks, James. And before I begin, let me make it clear that the opinions and harsh burns expressed by me are mine and mine alone and do not represent the views of the Ram Report specifically or the East Windsor Regional School District in general. Now, I've been doing these reviews since 2017, and I can't think of a lip sync contest where there has been a more obvious frontrunner than this year. I'm speaking, of course, of the juniors. Animated by a collective delusion that they were robbed of a first-place finish back in 2021, the class of 2024 prepped hard for their performance, confident that gold would finally be theirs. And by any objective measure, they were facing a very weak field. The freshmen, of course, were newcomers to the lip sync contest, and no freshman class in memory has won. The sophomores failed to even field a team last year, and the very few members of the class of 2023 who bothered to show up humiliated themselves with a dismal performance that fell far short of even their freshman effort back in 2019. So the conventional wisdom going into this lip sync, the juniors would walk away with the win, and the real contest, James, would be for second place.
So would the conventional wisdom be right? Would the sophomores participate this time around? Would the seniors finally get their act together? Would the freshmen sneak past a weak field for a podium finish? For the answers, let's go to the videotape. And first up, were the freshmen.
Well, this was a very nice surprise. Freshmen can usually be counted on for poor preparation, or not showing up at all, but not the class of 2026. Not only did they field a team, but they actually put on a pretty good show. There was a lot of work put into this routine, and it paid off with sharp synchronization and good transitions between songs. They even demonstrated a creative use of the space of the field, rather than just lining up in rows like a lot of lip sync teams do.
The only downside to the freshman performance? Low participation numbers, especially from the boys.
Yeah, I don't recall seeing any boys out there. But otherwise, it was a great show from the freshmen.
Absolutely. The best lip sync I've seen from a freshman ever.
Next up were the sophomores. And if you remember, this was the grade that failed to show up last year. So the question on everyone's mind was, would the class of 2025 finally take the field?
Well, congratulations, sophomores. You finally made it to the lip sync competition.
You're up on top.
The class that failed to put any bodies on the field last year certainly made up for it this year. There were a lot of sophomores out there. Unfortunately, it looked like only one of them knew how to dance or had any real idea what she was doing. I have to admit, this got a bit monotonous. The whole thing went on way too long and consisted almost entirely of the one girl who could dance doing her thing while several rows of kids tried unsuccessfully to hide behind her. When it was finally over, the team collapsed to the field. I'm not sure why, but it might have been from boredom.
So according to the judges, a last place performance by the class of 2025, but maybe a little better than a disqualification.
Right. The upside of setting low expectations is that you get to claim a win just by showing up.
Next up were the juniors, and if expectations for the sophomores were low, not so for the juniors. The junior class hype machine has been relentless, going on for weeks about how this contest wouldn't even be close. So would they deliver? Let's take a look.
Well, the juniors delivered all right. This was a fantastic show from start to finish. They clearly practiced for hours, and it showed with crisply executed choreography and well-staged tricks and flips. Like the sophomores, they put a lot of people on the field, but here, everyone seemed to know their role and did it well. Extra points for male participation, and the junior guys didn't stop with just showing up, but actually starred in one bit, featuring some pretty tight dance moves. And the music selection was great. This Gen Xer from the 1980s really appreciated that cut from Run DMC. Yeah, it's tricky, all right. Tricky to pull off a routine with this much depth and creativity.
James, here's the trap that some lip sync teams fall into when they're trying really hard to win. They look like they're trying hard. It gets too serious. The juniors did it the right way. They practiced enough so that they were prepared and confident. That allowed them to enjoy themselves out there and made them so much fun to watch.
Well, I know one class that wasn't having much fun watching the juniors, and that was the seniors. To beat the juniors, the seniors would need a miracle, and barring that, they need a significant improvement over last year's show to avoid losing to the freshmen. Let's see how they did.
Well, if you were expecting a miracle, it didn't happen. After not one, not two, but 3 false starts, the senior lip sync was finally underway with this swashbuckling opening bit. So, would we be treated to a pirate theme throughout? Apparently not. So instead of sailing the high seas, the seniors were soon lost at sea, muddling through yet another lip sync with all the sloppy disorganization that seems to be their trademark. And these guys showing up in Santa hats might just be the most random moment of the whole afternoon. On the plus side, the seniors had solid numbers on the field. They had good male participation, and they even had some fun, creative ideas. The problem, as it always seems to be with the class of 2023, was with execution.
As one of the seniors themselves put it at the end of the lip sync, this is what we get when we don't prepare. I couldn't have put it better myself, James.
What seniors did get, according to the judges, was second place, avoiding a humiliating loss to the freshmen, who came in third, with the sophomores taking last place. And for the junior class, well, a deserved win and a chance to be the first class to be a repeat winner since 2019. And Mr. Koontz, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, that wraps it up for the special edition of the Ram Report. I'm James Guarino, and have a Ram-tastic day.